Imagine a roller coaster skyrocketing 510% in just 1 year. That's Palantir's stock chart for you. While everyone's talking AI, these guys are quietly reshaping industries and racking up government contracts. They're doing it without selling data. So what's their secret sauce? It's all in the algorithms, and we're about to spill the beans. You won't believe what's driving their insane 43% customer growth. It's like they've unlocked some kind of industry Pandora's box, and we're going to peek inside. Buckle up, because this ride is about to get wild. You know what's wild? Palantir's playing a whole different ballgame in the AI world. This isn't your average tech company slapping a chatbot on everything. No, Palantir's building the scaffolding for AI, constructing the skeleton while everyone else is arguing about wall paint. Their secret sauce? It's all in the algorithms. Take their Gotham platform. It's like catnip for three-letter agencies. It's connecting dots you didn't even know existed, predicting global hotspots, and tracking down terrorist cells before they're even a blip on the radar. That's some serious power. But it's not just spooks and soldiers getting in on this. Palantir's Foundry platform is turning Fortune 500 companies into data-driven juggernauts. We're talking real-time decision-making on steroids. Imagine a massive retailer predicting next season's hot products, or a manufacturing giant optimizing its supply chain down to the last bolt. That's the edge Foundry's giving these corporate giants. Palantir's customer base grew 43% year over year. In this economy, that's jaw-dropping. Companies aren't just testing the waters, they're diving in headfirst. Why? Because Palantir's not retrofitting AI into old systems. They're building AI-native platforms from the ground up. This approach is paying off big time. Palantir's not just growing its customer base, it's squeezing more value out of each client. They're keeping 120% of their dollar value year over year. In the tech world, that's like striking gold and finding diamonds in the same mine. And Wall Street? They can't get enough. Analysts are falling over themselves to raise price targets. Even at 74 times sales, smart money is betting big on Palantir. They see what's coming. Palantir isn't just another tech company, it's a glimpse into the future of decision-making, from boardrooms to war rooms. Palantir's not content with just dominating the present. With a $5.4 billion deal backlog, they're not just predicting the future, they're building it. That backlog isn't just a number, it's a testament to the faith companies and governments are placing in Palantir's vision. So why haven't you heard more about them? Well, that's part of Palantir's mystique. They've always operated a bit in the shadows, working on projects so sensitive they can't even talk about them. But now, the cat's out of the bag, and everyone's scrambling to understand what makes Palantir tick. You better believe this is just the beginning of something big. Speaking of ticking, Palantir's sitting on a $5.4 billion powder keg of deals. But why are companies lining up to light the fuse? The answer might make you rethink everything you know about the tech industry. Let's break it down. Palantir just dropped their Q4 2024 numbers, and Wall Street's jaw hit the floor. They raked in $828 million, blowing past expectations of $776 million. That's a tech company flexing its muscles in a way we haven't seen in years. Here's what's truly astonishing. It's not about the money. It's about what Palantir's doing with it. Take their work with the US Army. We're not talking about fancy spreadsheet software. Palantir's tech is literally changing how wars are fought. In an era where geopolitical tensions are through the roof, Palantir's sitting on tech that's reshaping military strategy. That's priceless. And it's not just the military. Airbus is using Palantir to make flying safer. Ferrari, the kings of the racetrack, are using it to shave milliseconds off their lap times. This isn't niche tech. Palantir's fingers are in every pie, and they're making each one taste better. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but lots of companies have cool tech. What makes Palantir so special? Well, get this. Palantir's turning customers into addicts. Most tech companies celebrate if they keep 90% of customers year over year. Palantir, they're laughing all the way to the bank with 120% retention. You heard that right. They're getting customers to open their wallets wider every single year. It's like they've got some kind of corporate crack. Once a company gets a taste of what Palantir can do, they can't get enough. The big reveal is this. Palantir's selling transformation. They're going into companies and governments and saying, we can change everything, and they're delivering. That's why their revenue per customer is skyrocketing. We're talking millions per client. In a world where every company is desperate for an edge, Palantir's offering a whole new playing field. I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? And you're right to be skeptical. The question is whether this growth is sustainable. Palantir's currently valued at 74 times sales. In normal people speak, that means investors are betting big on future growth. And that's where things get tricky. Palantir's operating in a market that's evolving at lightning speed. AI isn't just a buzzword anymore. It's a battlefield. And while Palantir's got a head start, they're not the only players in the game. Can they keep innovating fast enough to stay ahead of the pack? But here's why I think Palantir might just pull it off. They're not just slapping AI onto existing products. They're building AI-native platforms from the ground up. They're not playing catch-up. They're setting the pace. And in a world where data is the new oil, Palantir's sitting on a gusher. You know what's funny? Everyone's talking about AI like it's some kind of instant business makeover. But here's the reality check. AI is useless if you can't deploy it effectively. And that's where most companies are hitting a wall. They've got these fancy AI models, but they're struggling to make them work in the real world. It's like having a Ferrari, but not knowing how to drive stick. Enter Palantir's Apollo. This is about conquering the final frontier of AI, deployment. Apollo is Palantir's secret weapon, their trump card in the AI arms race. It's the infrastructure that makes AI work in the trenches. Most companies are drowning in the complexity of AI deployment. It's messy, it's complicated, and it fails spectacularly. You've got data silos, integration nightmares, and scalability issues that would make even the most seasoned tech guru break out in a cold sweat. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. But Palantir? They're changing the rules. Apollo is like having a team of world-class engineers working 24/7 to keep everything running smooth. It's a continuous integration and deployment system that updates software faster than you can say artificial intelligence. And in the AI world, speed is a matter of survival. Palantir isn't keeping Apollo all to itself. They're letting other companies use it too. This isn't just smart, it's genius-level strategy. Because in one fell swoop, Palantir's positioned itself not just as an AI company, but as the company that makes AI work. Think about it. In a world where every tech company is shouting AI from the rooftops, Palantir's quietly solving the problems that are keeping CEOs up at night. They're selling the infrastructure to make those solutions work. It's like selling pickaxes during a gold rush, except these pickaxes are powered by rocket fuel. And let's be real, this is a big deal. In the boardrooms of Fortune 500 companies and the war rooms of three-letter agencies, the conversation isn't just about having AI anymore. It's about making AI work. It's about turning all that data into decisions, and those decisions into actions. That's exactly what Apollo does. Apollo isn't just a product. It's a moat, a competitive advantage so wide and deep that it makes Palantir practically indispensable to its clients. Once you're on the Apollo platform, why would you ever leave? It's solving problems you didn't even know you had. It's making your AI smarter, faster, and more efficient. It's giving you an edge in a world where the difference between winning and losing can be measured in milliseconds. You're probably thinking, if Apollo's so great, why isn't every company using it? Well, that's the billion-dollar question. Because make no mistake, Apollo is a game changer. It's the kind of technology that doesn't just give you a seat at the table, it flips the table entirely. Not every company is ready for this kind of transformation. Some are still stuck in the old way of thinking, treating AI like it's just another IT project. Others are paralyzed by the sheer scale of the change required. And let's be honest, some are probably scared, because embracing Apollo means admitting that your current approach to AI isn't cutting it. Everyone's talking about AI ethics like it's some groundbreaking concept, but for Palantir, it's been a constant balancing act since day one. When you're working with governments and militaries, things get complicated and messy real fast. You've got to respect a company willing to walk away from billions in potential revenue. That's exactly what Palantir's doing with China. They're flat out refusing to work there. In a world where most tech companies are falling over themselves to get a piece of the Chinese market, Palantir's taking a stand. But it's not just about what they won't do. Palantir's actively involved in AI policy discussions. They're trying to shape how the tech is used, not just build it. That's a big deal. Most companies are content to let the government figure out the rules, but Palantir's jumping right into the fray. The ethics of AI and data use are murky at best, but you've got to give them credit for at least trying to navigate these choppy waters. How many tech companies can you name that have publicly turned down contracts because they felt it crossed an ethical line? Not many. I bet. In a world where data breaches and privacy scandals are becoming the norm, Palantir's positioning itself as the responsible player in the room. They've realized something that a lot of other tech companies haven't yet. In the long run, ethics matter. Think about it. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, people are going to start caring a lot more about who's controlling it and how it's being used. Palantir's positioning itself to be on the right side of that conversation. But let's not kid ourselves. This ethical stance comes with its own set of challenges. It puts a target on Palantir's back. Every decision they make is going to be scrutinized. So, can Palantir really have its cake and eat it too? Can they be the ethical player in the room and still dominate the AI game? That's the real question, and I'm dying to see how it plays out. Palantir's building the surfboard for the AI tsunami, a $153 billion market by 2028. They're integrating cutting-edge generative AI into their core offerings, reshaping the economic landscape. Accenture predicts AI could double global economic growth by 2035. Palantir's giving clients tools to make decisions that matter, and Wall Street's eating it up. Analysts are raising price targets after stellar earnings. The future's speaking Palantir's language, loud and clear. So here's the million-dollar question. Are you ready for a world where AI isn't just a buzzword, but the backbone of our economy? Because that's the world Palantir's building.